connecting. Haha! We are live. We are live. And we have this amazing person, Justin. He actually makes sure whether the sound is working and loves to give me crap for it.
Is he sitting at home at the moment watching?
And, oh man, yep, the sound is, seriously. Let's see who's in first. Oh, Scotty beat Joe. Oh no, they've got the same timestamp. Justin was straight in on it. Oh mate, thank you so much, mate. We are back for day 19 of the live stream. We have another wonderful guest who's actually joined us. But before we introduce you, Kate, would you like a glass of wine?
I would love a glass of wine, thank you so much.
We have an awesome one. Have you seen this before?
It looks very familiar.
So this is Small Island Wines,
Yeah.
James Browanowski. But you may not have seen this particular one. I'm actually really excited about this one because I actually tried this with James in Tassie.
Nice.
And this kind of blew me away. This is Tasmanian Gamay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good,
She's like, he's like, okay.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, seriously, this is absolutely insane stuff. This is probably my favorite. We've had actually, I'd have to say, because James has been chiming in the last couple of nights as well. James, your wines have been absolutely outstanding. 2019 Gamay this is. Seriously, like, in terms of Tasmanian producers and new producers at that, this guy's absolutely killing it.
Label's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Do we just turn it around so they can see the label at home?
They should see the label.
There we go.
Yuko's chimed in. I've tried that Gamay. Jimmy B's on! Mate, thank you so much. Cheers.
Cheers.
So for those wondering at home, I am Brendan Carter. Some people have commented and complained that, who the hell are you? I mean, because we have a loyal following, but we have people that are chiming in as well. Wow, 36 people already, thank you so much. And this is Kate Rowlands.
Hi, everybody.
And so Kate, how would you describe yourself? I mean, not as well, like, what do you do? Because obviously because there's been many instances where I've come into restaurants where you've actually served me as a sommelier, but actually you do a lot more than that.
Yeah, so I am like restaurant hospitality all-rounder. I guess I'm currently working at also in Kensington as the business development and training manager there, which is amazing and a very odd time to be working in restaurants. But
totally. In terms of business development.
Yeah,
as well.
We are developing a new business every day at the moment, it feels like, which is pretty exciting and really kind of, very exciting and exhilarating and exhausting. But my background, I suppose, is I'm a Kiwi. I started working in Hospo.
How do you feel about being here?
A Kiwi or?
No, being here whilst everything's going back home. You've been away from New Zealand?
New Zealand, yeah, I left New Zealand in 2006, so like 14 years ago. So, so I haven't lived in New Zealand for most of my adult life. I left there, went to the UK, spent some time in Dublin, went to Brighton, was in London for a really long time, and then moved to Adelaide 3.5 years ago, where I met you. I remember it
was all downhill from there.
It was all downhill from there.
Basically.
But no, I do everything front of house, business development, training, openings, and obviously my passion is working on the floor. And I tell you what, one of the things I'm missing the most at the moment is that feeling of standing on the floor in the middle of a really busy service and hearing like the clink of glasses and people laughing and that kind of just feeling of, I really miss it and I can't wait till we can get back to that.
I was so hoping you were going to say it because that was the reason why I really wanted you to come on. This is funny because we obviously been talking for the last hour, but you actually don't know this. It's like, I don't mean to be. No, because it's, one of the things that we wanted to do with this was to showcase how, what I say, tangential wine can be. It's not just about drinking wine and getting boozed. I mean, there's a component of that, but we've had a chocolatier on, we've had journalists on, and wine is so integral to even those roles. And obviously, restaurants is a really big one. Many restaurants, I believe all restaurants are shut now, but it's
for normal service,
But when people, I guess everyone can remember going to restaurants, it's like
it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago. But the logistics of restaurant is more than what you see. Like most people just get that sort of, you know, you sit down, get a menu, you order something, and it seems very, very simple. It's anything but, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the actual process of getting the food onto your plate, the wine into your glass, and paying the bill at the end is probably like the simplest part of it. It's all the stuff behind the scenes that people don't see. Like a restaurant manager is everything from people manager to marketing manager to people development to hiring, training, idea recruitment. It's just what you do, and that's why I love it.
It's ridiculous, like a well-oiled machine, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be.
It's incredible, and I've seen you. I haven't actually had the pleasure of seeing you work at Orso. Now, Orso is part of. What's a part of? It's related to Andre's point. Andre Assini is the chef, and the founder.
Yep.
And I guess would you call us executive chef? Is it how it works?
He's the owner. Will Doak is the head chef there. Hi Will, if you're watching, you do an amazing job. We love you. Andre is oversees this amazing empire that he's created, which has got everything from also obviously the Polenta Bar closed over Christmas after 10 years of being an amazing institution in Adelaide. Catering company, Valletta Porcini up in Milo as well. Yeah, he's got many fingers and many pies, and he is an incredible and awe-inspiring person to be around, especially at the moment. His mind is just...
He's actually like, I was wary because I did ask him, I was like, do you want to come on the show or do you want Andre to come on the show? I was like, actually, I think we should have Kate on the show because like it might just be too much, you know? If it was like Andre and I, it just might be that little bit too much. Like things would be said that would be very much R-rated.
I feel like the universe would explode if you guys were in the same place at the same time, but that's
it usually does.
Andre, if you're watching, I feel like we should do this.
But I'm not sure if you actually know a really interesting story about Andre's Polenta Bar when we first started. When we first started up, it was like our very first vintage.
Oh, yeah?
And it's a very daunting thing to branch out on your own and do your own thing. And I remember getting it was just like random. It was just a random email. I think it could have been through social media. And he's like, yeah, can you like come on down and like show us the wines? I showed the wines, and he goes, yeah, we want to order it. We want to shove it on like this chalkboard thing. And I was like, oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Getting on the chalkboard.
Love a chalkboard.
We went through 10 dozen a week. We only made 60 dozen. We were sold out. Andre was pretty much solely responsible for buying, I'm going to say, at least 80%. The other 20% was purely family. And 80% of our entire first vintage of Nebbiolo. Yeah, well, he speaks very highly of you guys and your brands and what you've done. So it's all lies. I think he hates actually hates me. Well, jumping straight to the comments, and you guys are just filling them up straight away. Yes, Gamay, and the Gamay is absolutely stunning. This is like, there's very, I mean, have you tried much Australian Gamay before? Not a lot. There's been a little bit coming out over the last 12 months that I've tried, but my experience with Gamay is mostly French, so. Yeah, right, so, and this has, this would have been a really good blind tasting wine actually, just quietly, because I think it would have been really difficult to pick Old World from New World straight away. It's quite well pieced together. This is quite. I'm like such a fan of this particular wine here, and I remember like, and Jimmy's chiming in, he will definitely be able to attest to the fact that I reacted the exact same way as I'm reacting now when I first tried it, because I think this is the best thing he's ever made. I'm gonna take that off because it's so good. There we go. Yeah, it's like that lovely kind of dark, cherry, delicious. Super, like there's like herbaceousness to it, but it's not green. It's legitimate herbaceousness. Yeah, it's that tobacco leaf thing's going on, but it's not that sort of old school sort of like too aged thing. Acidity is sitting like perfect. Like it's not. It's Goldilocks zone. It's Goldilocks zone, people. I feel like this is what you guys call smashable wine. Which is something I've never heard of. I'm gonna call you guys. Who are you guys? Australian people. Australian people. Homo Australians. Everything is smashable and textural. Textural, crushable. Yeah, apparently it's the Americanized version of smashable. Is that like the idea when they get that can and they smash it, they crush it, they drink it, they put it on their head? Yeah, we could make this happen. Okay, this is what we should do with canned wines. Canned wines are an interesting concept actually. Have you encountered much canned wine? So I have drunk a lot of canned wine in the UK when it was very much like you go to Marks and Spencer's and you go on your train ride from city to city and you get your £3 can of wine, or maybe you get your 6 £3 cans of wine and you drink them on the train wherever you're going, and it wasn't really, canned wine in the UK wasn't really identifiable with good quality wine, but more convenience wine. In the same way that kegged wine in the UK was like cheaper, convenience, high volume wine as opposed to like good quality. So this idea that we're moving into canned and kegged wine here, Riot here do an amazing job with it. They're kicking goals at the moment, but it's an interesting concept to me because I get the sustainability behind it. I get the GP idea behind it for venues. Like if you can put wine on keg and there's no wastage and it doesn't go off, for sure. Like exactly. It's a no-brainer. The wastage is a massive thing. The issue actually in Australia has a really funny issue. As a small producer, obviously, wine in general, firstly, is taxed under what we call a WET tax system, or wine equalization tax system, and it's based on the wholesale value of something. So if you have a wine that is $100 a bottle, wholesale, then $29 of that on top, like you need to put $29 on top of that, and that's the tax you have to pay the government. It's 29% on the wholesale value.
Right. Okay.
So as a small producer, though, we actually get we get it rebated back to us. So we actually get that. What
constitutes a small producer? How much wine?
What's that? I believe it is the first $350,000 of taxable wine.
Okay.
So therefore, it's like basically every company gets it, but it means a lot to the smallest ones because they're not actually selling that much wine to be able to. Sorry, it's $350,000 of WET tax. So it could be, depending on what sort of price point the wine is.
Yeah.
But on the recent revision of the laws, they actually abolished any rebates associated with wine in keg. But they allowed anyone doing cider in keg, which also comes under the WET system, to get their rebate. So they in one sort of fell swoop made, for at least small producers, made keg wine
be unsustainable.
Well, made it 29% more expensive, which pretty much accounts for the cost of packaging anyway.
Why?
So why don't you just make more bottled wine? I think that was the thing, because if they could disincentivize wine producers from not putting sort of wine in keg, putting it in bottle, that means there's more branded wine in front of eyeballs to build the brand of Australian wine. But I think it's a folly, because I think I'm all for super novel ways to be able to bring wine to people. And not just wine. In fact, we did an awesome little EDM out to our mailing list today, talking about low ABV wines and also alternative wines. And I know Noah's chiming in. He's actually said, so funny, currently drinking Meadowbank Gamay. And I think, James, is this particular vineyard somehow related to the Meadowbank Gamay? I think I can't imagine there's too many Gamay vineyards in Tasmania. But Noah actually pricked our ears up this vintage, and we were hoping to do it, but then obviously everything happened. I'm avoiding the C word because I know Terry's going to be chiming in here and he's going to demand that we drink.
People waiting at home to drink.
No, they're absolutely waiting. He. Where was I going with this? No, with sort of novel, and he sent out something called Piquette. Have you ever tried Piquette or heard of Piquette? It is the most amazing thing ever.
Right.
You press grapes, and you get the wine out. Don't worry about the wine. Let's talk about the grape skins. You add water to it.
Right.
You mix it up and leave it for a couple of days. You press it again. You ferment that stuff. That's Piquette.
Okay.
It's like 4.5% wine-based product.
Okay. Like a very light kind of drink in the afternoon rosé?
It could be rosé if it's red, I guess. You can do it out of white. You can do it. There's a number of companies in the States that are doing a lot of this stuff.
Okay.
And so these are different styles of wine that have. They in Italy they call it, I think, Vino di Dipendente, which means like wine, workers' wine.
Yeah.
Piquette literally. I forget what it's actually like the exact translation. I think it literally means like trash. I think it literally means like something like just absolutely you'd typically throw away.
And this is just an alternative, because a lot of the time that goes to feed cattle or it's sold on for other.
No, then it goes to feed cattle after that. Like they're getting every little extract out of that berry they possibly can. But there was one thing I noticed about canned wine that actually irks me a little bit. You're drinking, a 375 ml of 12% alcohol.
Out of a can, but before you know it, you've drunk half a bottle of wine. I mean, it's not necessarily bad.
It's a very bad thing, but if you're doing 6 of them on the way to Manchester, it's probably not the best idea.
Everyone's watching from the UK and has been on a train with me while I've done it. It's a good time.
Is this why the people in Manchester talk the way they did? Yeah. They all came from London and they all talk really funny.
That's why we had to leave.
So Can't Tune Today can finally break ISO. So leaving the house for the first time on day 23. See you on the flip side. Thank you, Sam Mitchell. Well done. Well done for leaving ISO. We're all very, very much happy.
I think I saw her comment yesterday, being like, one more day to go, or him. Sorry.
Sam and Terry, I believe, have just finished isolation as well, and they've been with us. They've been with us the whole way. Gwenda, Hillebrand, and Kate have a birthday in 6 days' time. Having a birthday in 6 days' time.
Oh,
great.
That's my mother. Hi, Mum. She's watching from New Zealand. It's my birthday in 6 days' time.
My mum chimed in as well.
Me.
All our mums are in.
Yeah.
It's great.
Our faces.
What kinds of businesses are you developing? And that's actually a really interesting one, where obviously you were in business development for a restaurant group. Is it just also, or is it across the whole?
So predominantly based in also at the moment. So the restaurant's obviously the core business that we have. I suppose over the last 3 weeks we've been pushed into developing a lot more businesses than we would have on a normal kind of time frame.
So what are you guys doing to survive?
We have pivoted, which is my new favourite word at the moment. We've pivoted from being a really, really busy 6-day-a-week neighbourhood restaurant where we're just busy all the time with a beautiful community that supports us. And if there's anyone that's watching that goes into Orso, thank you so much for your support at the moment. We really appreciate it. We couldn't be doing what we're doing at the moment without you. But we are now basically the fanciest takeaway joint you've ever seen in your life. The most expensive takeaway shop. But we're doing takeaway for our local community. We've developed a range of heat and eat products, which basically means that the chef 75% cooks what we have, and then you can finish it off in your home. So we deliver it to you in the morning, cold, and then you can have, well, you can't have your friends over anymore, but you can cook for whoever you're living with and pretend that you made it yourself, which is a lie, but if you're doing that, I like it.
Oh, that is so good. I think there's like a real good market for people that are doing like Zoom with their friends around dinner time. And they can do like, hey, I just whipped this up, you know.
We've had that a couple of times where we've had people send through like 8 different orders. One person comes and picks it up, then they deliver it to all of their friends. And then they have a big Zoom party, which is perfect.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
That is so good. And these are the things that we hope that this show would actually bring out, because like we've seen a lot of I'm going to say, you know, during a crisis you usually see like the worst in humans. And this is what I'm hoping is like we see the best in humans when they're actually making it work. And they're doing so well. So you've got the heat and eat stuff. Heat and eat stuff. We've got the takeaway range. We've also Wilmot's, which was always our deli and our bar at night time, is now operating as a complete retail space. We open at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's coffee all the way through. We've got fresh produce, grab and go stuff there as well. So what was full of beautiful cheese and charcuterie is now full of take-home meals. You know, lots of gnocchi, beef meatballs. Yeah, this is delicious. You gotta get some of this.
But yeah, we've a wine shop as well. Thank you, Steve Marshall, for letting us sell our wine with meals, only with meals, only with meals. But yeah, it's just we've had to really completely think on our feet. But in terms of like other business development, it's lots of special events. I know we were working on something with you before we got shut down.
We totally were. Yeah, absolutely.
And we do a lot of kind of going out and special events, home catering, chefs at home. We just did a huge thing at WOMAD where we did the pop-up restaurant WOMAD. So Villetta Porcini, which is our private thing up in the hills. And
I'm really excited by that, by the way.
Have you been yet?
No, I haven't. Andre's only ever told me about it.
He's never invited you.
It's like you should never talk about Fight Club kind of deal. Like, it's one of those things.
Unfortunately, it's also we can't run that at the moment.
Of course.
Just because of everything. But we are just the day that everything turns back on, it's just going to go nuts. So.
Now it's interesting you say that also is just a neighbourhood or suburban restaurant, and we had Sean Lau on
Sean.
earlier.
Hi Sean,
in the week.
if you're watching.
And he said one of the most, I don't think we were on camera, and I won't say the whole thing, but he did, because it'll take me too long. No, he gave amazing props to also, and he was like, this is what basically an A-class restaurant we're talking, and he's had an amazing level of experience. But again, he said this off camera, which I hope he doesn't mind sharing. But he was just like, this is basically where the pinnacle should be. This is literally the king of the king stuff. So what is it? Because I haven't had the pleasure of actually dining at Orso yet. And of course in South Australia there's a handful. You could toss them up in the air and barely catch them. There's not that many restaurants at that sort of grade. What makes Orso in particular so different to say Andre's Polintava?
Yeah, so I think there's probably 3 things. I think that one is that the idea for Orso was a really long time in making. So it's in a beautiful old bluestone building in Kensington. They spent 2 years, a long time designing it, and 2 years building it to make it really beautiful. The staff that work there are incredible. I've never worked with a bunch of people who are so passionate, so good at what they do. A lot of jobs where I've gone in the past, someone's hired me and been like, I want you to go oversee the training and oversee the service, and I've always gone in and be like, oh god, I've got so many things to fix, and it's the only business I've ever walked into where I've been like, what, actually, this doesn't need to be touched. Little kind of smooch here and there, but overall they're amazing what they do. They're really passionate as a team full of hospitality professionals, which I find is sometimes really hard to come across. And also, like, the kitchen team's amazing. Will, who I've already mentioned, is an incredible chef. He just takes really beautifully sourced local ingredients and cooks them really, really well. There's no veloutes or foams or anything fancy.
So the secret is literally just, the same thing you get taught over and over and over again, which is basically like just service and making sure what actually goes into the kitchen to start is the best it could possibly be.
Absolutely, yeah. Work hard, be nice to people when they come through the door, serve them delicious food, and they'll come back again and again. So.
See, that's the most. So it reminds me of like an Italian, an Austro-Italian take on, is it Bali in Ireland?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
If you guys, it starts with Bali, not Ballymaloe, something or other. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I want you guys to chime in. Hopefully that answers your questions there, Stephen. What's going on in here, Grandpa Cletus? Well, you know, we're a winery, and in Australia everything's largely just shut down. I'm not sure where you're chiming in from, and we're just trying to make people laugh a little bit and have a good time at the end of the day. It's the end of the day here. I'm not sure what time it is where you are. But where are we located? We're located in South Australia. Where you're located in Norwood?
Kensington.
Kensington.
Yeah. Kensington, Rose Park. Yeah.
Loving the vibes. Yeah, too. So this is Fat Freddy's Drop. So I'm not too sure who actually recommended this. It's been on my playlist for a little while, so I'm really glad we can share this with you. So that was a really great addition there. Jimmy B, apart from 30 ppm of sulfur, nothing's been added. Does that mean it's natty?
Tell us about natural wine, Brendan.
Tell us about natural wine. So natural wine is a zeitgeist against commercialized or industrialized wine production that Australia was quite well famous for up until basically the GFC, so 2008. And I guess what came out of that was a number of things. So oddly enough, there's degrees of naturalness, which is odd. But look, this is the semantics that we've decided to roll with, and collectively everyone's decided to roll with. There's natural wine and there's not natural wine. And that doesn't imply that the not natural wine is not natural. It's a name. It's just a name.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't read into it any more than that. But essentially, it's a style of winemaking that implies that you're not actually intervening. What we call minimal intervention. So you're not intervening as much as you possibly can, because wine needs to have some form of human intervention. It doesn't just jump into the bottle by itself. However, things like additives really, what we call additives when you actually add something physically to the wine, whether it's sulfur or tartaric acid or a myriad of other additives that we're allowed to by law, natural winemakers, and we subscribe mostly to all of those doctrines, impacts the flavor of the resultant wine, and therefore gets in the way of being able to taste what's really special about this, apart from the obvious effects of having wine, which you need more of.
Service around here is terrible.
I know, right? We're just not at your level, Kate. No, the special thing about wine is distinct from other alcoholic beverages is it speaks of a place and of a time, and more so of a place. And that's we talk about vintage, but we talk about areas where things come from. That's why I can do that kind of cool, fun little trick, which we're going to do in a second, called blind tasting, where we can actually pick where the wine comes from, or not pick if I stuff it up. Or in the case of last night and a couple of nights ago, absolutely nail it, because they're made by producers that take a hands-off approach, that give us absolute clarity of where something comes from. And that's the big distinction. And we're hoping actually to get a couple of brewers on as well, because I really want to have their take on what terroir means to them and place means to them for a brewery, because you control every aspect of what goes into it, whereas we purposely try not to. We actually define ourselves by what we don't do to a wine, as opposed to what we do to a wine.
That dichotomy of the process, we're really interested, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why we're talking to the Little Bang guys at the moment. Hopefully we can get them on.
Yeah, cool.
Great to see an SA producer doing something new like this. Love it. Thanks, Sean. That's Sean Lecornu. Are you related to the Lecornu people? I would love to know. Thank God for these essential services. We are an essential service. We're here to make you happy. Happiness is an essential service. How's the wine scroll looking, Amanda? Thanks for chiming in. We had a look at this. So this has come from Katie Spain. She dropped this off, I think, now 13 days ago.
Okay.
And we tried it last night. Laura wasn't so convinced. This is Pipe Dream that's been sitting in there just on the shelf, at room temperature. I was convinced I would drink this wine, but we're going to give it a couple more days.
What does it do?
Amanda. Basically, it's like a plunger, and it seals itself.
Is it like a poor man's caravan?
It's a poor man's caravan.
Right, okay, yeah.
This is what they were talking about caravan before. I'm like, yeah, it's poor man's caravan. But it works really well. It works really well, because realistically, how long are you going to, like 12 days?
That's a long time to have wine.
Yeah, that's a long time. I mean, Corrivan's pretty dope, and we're going to get Corrivan on here because we're going to talk about shit wine inventions. We haven't actually spoken about new shit wine inventions for a little while.
Corrivan as a shit wine invention?
No. But Hey, Kate, we've had the fire extinguisher decanter.
That was
we've had the little robotic decanter over here. Yeah, it's phallic.
Yeah,
we have the little battery-operated corkscrew.
Also phallic.
Yeah, we're finding.
Trend here.
Yeah, there's and then even the famous Venturi. That's you know, there's a sensuality to a lot of wine things, and but what we are finding is that most of them are largely useless, except for this little guy. Have you used these?
Oh, what do they call them? An arso?
Yeah, an arso.
Yeah, so we have some of those also, but customers keep stealing them, and they're really expensive. So
they are really hard to get for something that is so simple.
Yeah.
This is one of my favourite new tools.
Yeah,
seriously, this is
like aged wine.
Oh, just all wines, because
amazing.
except for ones under screw cap, maybe sparkling wines. But
so a very small percentage.
A very
of
small
wine.
percentage of wines. Seriously, like this is my favourite tool. This is our choose your weapon array.
Nice.
Terry Rawson demanded that we drink. We must do what Terry says.
Hi, Sam.
So Sam, your brother.
My brother.
So you come actually from it's like a family of hospitality, like superstars. Your parents were in hospitality as well.
So my grandparents were in hospitality. My dad's family had they were in hotels back in the 40s and 50s. My granddad in the 50s was flown to Fiji to open a hotel there. So it goes way back in our blood. My mum's side of the family had billiards rooms, so that kind of hospitality. Then my parents worked in hospitality when they were going to university, but both became teachers and kind of got out of the hospitality game. And when I was at university, when I was 19, got my first job working in Hospo. Never knew that my parents had worked in Hospo. Did it, I was my second year of a law degree, fell in love with hospitality, finished my law degree.
You finished?
Yeah, I've got a law degree. Surprise!
That's so awesome. That's insane. I had no idea. That's awesome. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't finish mine.
Okay.
I'm a quitter.
No, I mean, look, it's not something I've ever actually used per se, but I think the skills that I learned through it have definitely, that whole education process has been amazing. But yeah, my two younger brothers, Sam and Tom, who are both watching, hi guys, also are in hospitality. Both of them also went into law school, but I got them both their first jobs in hospitality. They went.
So you upset the apple cart?
I upset the apple cart, yeah, which I don't think that my family's ever really quite forgiven me for. But there was a period of time there when, rather than being a lawyer, I was a waitress, and my mother was not very happy about it. But we're okay now. So my brother Tom is in Hong Kong, and he works for Proof & Co. as a spirits evangelist for them, kicking goals and doing some really good shit over there.
And prior to that, he was doing
such a
Yeah, you can completely swear. There's a large gamut of language we could utilise. We can even say, jandals. We can even,
jandals. That's because they're a real thing.
Yeah.
They're a real thing.
And chili bins.
So yeah, chili bins. Speaking of taking the piss out of Kiwis, did you see Jacinda Ardern's press conference yesterday on the Easter Bunny being an essential service in New Zealand? If you haven't seen this, you have to watch it. And so the Prime Minister of New Zealand came out yesterday and did this press conference, and one of the reporters said, with Easter coming up, we've been fielding some questions from children about whether the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy are considered essential services. And she spent a minute kind of saying, don't worry, the Easter Bunny is, definitely considered an essential service, so we will let them out. And the Tooth Fairy as well, they can go out. And then you could see her mentally backtracking and being like, but if the Easter Bunny doesn't come to you this Sunday, then that's probably because he's been too busy. So you can still have Easter egg hunts in your backyard. And if the Easter Bunny doesn't come, it doesn't mean he doesn't love you. It doesn't mean he doesn't love you.
Have you seen the graphic that went through Facebook that's like North Island, South Island, Big Island, we should just let it rain over everything. I'm like, nah.
There are Kiwis all over the world who are very proud to be Kiwis when we see her on screen. She's amazing.
Speaking of proud Kiwi things, Stephen Harris has chimed in. So have you seen that we've been doing something a little bit, alongside basically the shit wine inventions, we've been doing shit food pairings?
No.
It's been awesome. So we've had some really. This one's been one of the most fascinating ones for me as well. We had cheesels, and sparkling wine. Amazing match.
Okay.
Legit match.
Yep.
Okay. Then we had strawberries and cream. Jury was sort of out a little bit on it, but we're thinking we kind of went down the path of old school Barossa rosé.
Yeah, okay. Something a bit aged.
No, not aged, but old school as in just overtly sweet. Like Alicante Boucher, like Charles Melton, Turkey Flat, Grenache, Dolcetto. We had last night was an amazing one. We had Stephen DeHorst on and made him have Cadbury.
Oh, how'd that go?
Cherry Creek.
Oh.
Yeah. Rob's like, honestly.
Oh, the beer.
Beer, cherry
Yeah, I know
creek.
that totally works.
Yeah,
Totally
like
works.
high acid.
Yeah,
It was pretty. That was probably the most life-changing moment for me. It's like that's gonna be one of those like ones that I'm gonna write home about. Hell, even Stephen DeHorst's own chocolate.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we have actually linked in the description above. We've got 100 limited edition packs of what we're calling the booze and blocks Easter box. It will not actually rock up for Easter unless you're in South Australia and you order right now. But we thought we were going to do it anyway. You get 2 bottles of our wine. You grab two. So it's awesome, like honeycomb and like milk chocolate. And we've got a, I think it was fruit and nut. That's right, fruit and nut dark chocolate from Steve. But it's all linked in the description. I think we're down to around about 70 remaining.
The cheese chocolate is amazing. Like his chocolate is phenomenal.
The chocolate's phenomenal.
I eat a lot of chocolate, and his chocolate's
Yeah. So tell us this: chocolate before breakfast. Does it count?
Oh, no, my breakfast is normally like a coffee at 11:30. Like, does it count as breakfast or?
No, does it count?
Oh, as in like, do calories count? No, chocolate doesn't have calories in it. What are you talking about? Chocolate wine.
This is Laura's like, prove it. So Stephen Harris says kiwi shit food suggestions: twisties, rations, ginger nuts, onion dip, toffee pops, mallow puffs, milky bottles.
Onion dip. Oh my god.
So twisties from New Zealand.
They're different. So the twisties you have here are really thin and small and don't taste like anything, whereas the twisties we have at home just taste like orange E numbers and they're amazing.
Orange E numbers.
Orange E numbers.
That's brilliant. I gotta write that one down.
Tasting note coming soon.
Ballymaloe, Tash English is showing Ballymaloe. Yeah, also reminds me of a little bit like a Ballymaloe situation. And you're like the
Kensington.
Are you the
Rose Park
maitre
version.
d'? Are you like the?
I think
everything. You're the most flexible, elastic.
I do a little bit of everything all the time.
Love to have you guys as members of SA Tasting Centre. We exclusively promote SA producers. Yes, Sean, yes. We would love to be as well. Terry, congratulations on getting out of ISO. I'm stoked for you. I am legitimately stoked for you. I did South Asian Studies and finished, not much to do with wine. Yeah, I mean, the food's great with it though.
Jandals are an essential item, Jackie. You are correct.
Jandals are an essential item. Oliver said, I didn't see the small island. Fucking yum. Yes, is that Pinot Gamay? This is Gamay. This is honestly, one of the most amazing Gamays I reckon in the country. Man, we're struggling. Here we go. Crispies, jet planes. This is your love. What's a crispy, Sam? What's it? Oh, we got truffles here.
Hey, truffle. Hey, friends.
Laura, can you confirm who got the first order of the booze and blocks? Oh, she's checking for you now, Terry. So you can relax. You can relax. We're gonna check that out for you. But in the meantime, you brought a wine for blind tasting for me.
I did.
Yeah. So are we gonna let's do it? Well, Laura's no. Well, Laura, we can't tear Laura away. Terry, what do you want? What do you want, man? Do you want Laura to figure out if you were the one that ordered the first one or? He wasn't. I'm sorry. Oh man. No, Truffles is here. He's here. He's keeping guard. He's wondering why Laura's changed. Because he thinks you're Laura, I think.
Hi.
Hey mate, you're good now. He's just stoked. He's so happy that he has humans around. Blind taste. Terry's voting for blind taste.
Okay.
All right. So what
do
we
I
got?
pick any of these, or do I pick the one that I brought?
Let's do the one that you brought, and then we're gonna do one together. I feel. I reckon this will be good. So is this the one that you brought?
This is the one that I brought. Okay. See how beautifully it's wrapped. You wrapped, Laura.
I'm guessing it's not Unicoselli. Yes, Laura's gonna.
Not.
It's like a back vintage using.
Do you know enough about the wine to be
you do the options.
Yeah,
you let me. Look, I did had a really, yes. No, you do the options. You do the options. I thought I was going to pick one off the back.
Yeah, you're going to.
Yeah,
going to next.
Okay, good. Okay.
This is where you try to make me look like a fool.
Oh, okay.
Catherine, how do we order? How do we order the booze and blocks pack? I'm pretty confident I'll put it in the description above if you're chiming in on Facebook, which you are, Catherine. If you just jump on the description above the near the video, just to the left or the right hand side, you could actually do a drop down as a link out. All right. Ooh, okay, yeah, cool. I'm gonna be putting the comments down just so I can't actually see what's up because Laura's gonna comment through.
Somebody picked up the other day and I saw that you got spoiled.
Yeah. I know it's been a learning process, this streaming business. I'm a grapes and grains person. It's not my forte. But I just thought, I've actually completely ignored Instagram for the last however long it's been, 20 minutes. So now we're monitoring Instagram's comments.
Hi Instagram. It's still through that one, right?
Through that
Hi
one.
Instagram.
All right, wow, this is pretty cool. This is really cool. This is old school. I'm gonna do this because it's always worth taking a punt.
Okay.
Where my mind is already at.
Okay.
Right, straight away, just straight off the smell. I haven't tried it yet.
Yep.
My mind is in the middle of the Barossa, somehow Grenache Shiraz, old school producer with a decent amount of oak. That's where I'm at. You don't need to tell me whether I'm right or wrong, but if it ends up that way, you guys knew that within about 10 seconds, that's where I was.
Okay.
But that's where my mind already is, based purely off the smell, which could be completely wrong. It could be like a McLaren Vale Grenache, but I feel this is like a Barossa, more either traditional producer or a new producer doing traditional really well, because there's a clarity on the nose that it could be like old school, old world, new world. You're like, it's old world. You're like, the whole thing's completely wrong, completely left to center. But I don't think it's somewhere like in New Zealand or Australia or South Africa or anything. I think we're firmly on the motherland. But Laura's gonna chime in. She's about to tell you exactly what it is, and we shall see. We shall see. All right, so old world.
Did you hear what he said he thinks it is straight off the bat?
I immediately went to the Barossa. I was like, Grenache Shiraz, old school producer or a young producer doing old school really well, is where I'm at straight away, just purely off the smell. But I have no idea whether that's right or wrong. And it couldn't, I'm gonna say, if you look at my track record, I'm probably wrong. But that's where my mind is straight away at the moment. But Laura, are we?
Yep, old world, new world.
I'm gonna say new world.
Yeah.
Correct.
Cool, awesome.
Good, 50-50.
I've got, yeah, I was like, yeah, that's right. Got a 50-50. All right, so what do we, it's really yummy. It's really seductive. And that's why I sort of went that way.
Oh
Yeah?
It's,
cool.
It's definitely one of the best things I've tasted over the last 12 months.
It's an amazing,
100%.
it's an amazing wine, and that's why I don't have. Sorry guys, but Corky McCorkface is going to actually stay back here.
Yeah.
Because
deserves to stay back there.
Yeah, because at the moment I'm actually really enjoying this wine. So, what countries are we talking about?
New Zealand and Australia.
I'm going Australia.
Correct.
Cool.
Alright. SA, Victoria, WA. SA.
South Australia.
Alright.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. It's like, all right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what regions are we? This will be the harder one.
Langhorne Creek,
Ooh.
McLaren Vale, or Adelaide Hills.
I can't see this as Adelaide Hills. You said Langhorne Creek. Sorry.
McLaren Vale.
Or Adelaide Hills.
Or Adelaide Hills.
Ooh. That's rough. That's rough. You're rough. That's because I'm thinking now Lake Breeze territory, like Langhorne Creek stuff that I've seen Lake Breeze, like the Bermuda, I think Bermuda, but something or other. Not Batuta. I think it's called Bermuda. Blend is in this sort of realm. For those on Instagram that are wondering why you don't know what's up, jump on Facebook and you can actually see the comments. Laura's already announced what the wine is. I'm gonna go McLaren Vale. No, where is it?
I'm really enjoying this. It's great.
No, where?
Adelaide Hills.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. This is ripe. This is ripe. That's going to be hard for the variety because like a variety this ripe means some pretty amazing, either amazing conditions, amazing bottle age, or like amazing varietal selection, and therefore the variety that I'm thinking of is probably like completely wrong. Completely and utterly wrong. It's Adelaide Hills. Far out. Okay, variety.
I'm just gonna drink it and enjoy it because it's delicious.
It's very, very good. Is it a single variety?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. What's my variety choice?
Pinot Noir. Yeah, mate. Or Pinot Noir.
Jesus. Really? And it's a single variety?
Mm-hmm.
Really? So what were the three options? Pinot Noir, Gamay. Whoa.
I think this is the quietest I've ever heard him.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. This is a new one. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. This is awesome.
I'd just like to say when I chose this to bring up today, I genuinely brought it up because I think it's delicious and I love this producer, but I'm really delighted that it's also stumping him. This is great. Because I did go down the path of being like, everyone at work has been like, take something really tricky, take something you'll never guess, take this really weird blend.
This is like, irrespective, like, whatever variety this is, like of those three, this is a remarkable example of it. I'm gonna go, it's Pinot Noir. I'm gonna say it's Pinot Noir. No, it's Pinot Meunier.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it is, yeah, because it ain't Gamay.
No.
It definitely ain't Gamay. That was the easy one. It's like definitely not Gamay, it's Pinot Meunier. Is it, the only Pinot Meuniers that I could possibly, you know, which I don't think is Murdoch Hill, but I thought maybe Turon. I'm not sure if he does a Pinot Meunier, but is it Murdoch Hill? Is it?
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, small producer making. And is it Murdoch? Like which Murdoch Hill is it? The Surrey.
Yeah.
That is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah.
2018. Sorry, yeah, I wouldn't have guessed the vintage.
Yeah.
Like at that point, I may as well like bow out. I'm like, I've already got 2 wrong in a row. That's really cool. That's remarkably cool.
Yeah.
Do you mind passing? Actually, no. We'll hold those.
Hold
We'll hold
those?
those for a bit. Oh, there we go. I want to see this one. Yeah, right.
Yeah, the colour on it's amazing.
Yeah, and this is the really cool thing with the black glasses. Like, I went straight to like, obviously Grenache Shiraz territory,
Yeah.
ripe territory. Wouldn't if I'd actually been able to see
Gorgeous
that.
though, like.
It's got and straight away
so
unfiltered.
pretty.
I was so surprised that you said Grenache or...
But like
you're right.
the colour is
brightness
so
here.
light, but like the palette is just, it's thick
Lush.
and dark and lush. Yeah, luxurious.
Lush. It's like it's like black currants and it's
Yeah,
real
I
sort
love
of
it.
blue fruited.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, Grenache sort of territory, like a really sort of light handled small producer Grenache.
Yeah.
Guys, that's fun. That stumped me. Well done.
Yeah, nice.
That is. I mean, you don't. I get them right, like 20% of the time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Someone was Rob was saying before that the online betting agencies are now taking bets on whether your house price is going to go up or down with everything coronavirus. Is that the C word? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. But maybe we should convince the online people to take bets on whether you get this right or wrong. I feel like there'd be a market.
I think what's the like Bet 3? What's the guy from Mona? Bet 365. The guy from Mona, didn't he like invent that?
He invented everything, didn't he?
Invented everything. I reckon you should put. I reckon we could bet on this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
bet on
all
everything.
for it.
You guys are a gambling nation, aren't you?
That's right. Yeah, we totally voted an idiot in.
Yeah.
That's a big gamble. Anyway, so jumping down to the comments, Corky, Christina, yeah, totally. I'm sorry, Corky didn't come out. Corky's going to come out in a second because we're going to do another one. We have like literally 15 minutes, mate.
Yeah, no.
It's like,
God, really?
Yeah, I know. Everyone's just happens every single time. It's like, yeah, literally, it's been like 45 minutes. That is a remarkable wine. That is a remarkable wine. This is because Pinot Meunier typically is so herbaceous. It is so lean. It is so angular in its acidity. This is nothing like that.
It's just beautiful. It's been treated like the most beautiful varietals.
I think this is Michael Downer's the winemaker here, and he's another young guy. He's super talented, and one of the quiet achievers of the industry. And he's achieved a lot. Like he's got a lot of kudos, but super quiet. Just keeps his head down. He does amazing job. But this feels less so about I need to make great Adelaide Hills Pinot Meunier, which it is. I'm not saying it's not, but it's like I need to make really tasty wine.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened.
He came and did a tasting with us maybe a couple of weeks, or probably more like 5 or 6 weeks ago now, with a range of 6 or 7 things that he did. And every wine just kept getting better, like his Chardonnay, this amazing Riesling that he just released, which was like,
oh, is this the Riesling that was, I think I tried it, it was in Slovenian Oak, it was in, Foudre, for ages. I tried it in Foudre, in Baltagrande.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And, like I do a lot of tastings with a lot of people, with a lot of producers, and like if you have a line of the 6 wines, there'll normally be like 2 or 3 that kind of pique your interest, but this every single single one was just banging.
And I've picked this so wrong because he said old French oak on it as well. When I thought it was oaky, I thought there was a density to it. There was, They're so far off base.
Yeah.
Not
and you're right, he's a lovely, lovely man.
He is, no, and this is what we tend to actually find in just the wine industry. It's just how lovely people actually are.
Yeah.
We don't really attract assholes, and if we do, thank you. You know, they typically just run live streams. So Corky's gonna come out and play, guys, relax. This is the things like people, I know it's a total tune. I think, are we still on Fat Freddy's Drop? No, we've gone like completely AWOL. I think Quantic.
It's good though, I like it.
It's, that's tough, Laura. Thank you, Noah, for batting for me, man. It was tough. It was legitimately tough. That was hard. Tom's chiming in. Hey, fam.
Hey.
Christina's told us to drink, which we did, but we will again.
Drink.
Holly's just straight in, is like, chug a bottle of Jane Jasper. It's Jane and Jasper, Holly, come on.
Jeez.
I think you've chugged a bottle of Jane Jasper and you're reading it the wrong way.
Holly's from Hong Kong, in Hong Kong at the moment with my other little brother.
With Tom.
With Tom,
Absolutely. Oh, guys, thank you so much for chiming in.
I have to say, like, the Jane Jasper Fiano is the first wine that I ever tried from you guys, and it's become a bit of like an Edgerton, my maiden name's Edgerton family thing, where whenever we have a couple of beverages and get really saucy, we all scream out at the top of our lungs, Uber Fiano! And it's just this thing that brings us together, and it's really lovely.
Is it like Excelsior?
Exactly,
in Edgerton
Fiano.
speak? Oh man, it's like, hey mum, I've made it. You know, mic drop. It's all good. If I can inspire one family to do that together,
that's what it is. And you can see them all like.
It's piano for life. That's so good.
Uber Fiano.
All right, well, we've got almost 10 minutes, a little bit over 10 minutes. Let's put this aside.
Yep.
Because I think it's only fair if you're bringing in a wine and you're so generous and kind to be able to offer that to me. I think we should be able to give you the opportunity to be able to properly blind guess a wine.
Okay.
Any of the wines that are completely sort of wrapped up.
Okay.
We've got, I actually do not know, the Unico ones have been done by our team member, our content creator, Noah. And then there's some darker ones that have been done by the Inglewood Inn.
Okay, nice.
Yep, Millie came up.
Had a great lunch there.
Inglewood's amazing.
Yeah, that
Inglewood's
was amazing.
next level.
This one.
That one.
Sorry.
All right, Laura's waiting in the
like-
wings, ready to do it. So, I think my first Unico was the Dolcetto about 5 years ago. I wonder, was it Cherry Fields then, or was it just called Unico Dolcetto? Because we did this Unico Dolcetto and we picked it way early.
Okay.
And it was so acidic. I remember, I think Justin Lane came in and back for us once when someone was like, oh, this thing's utter crap. And he's like, yeah, it would like strip your teeth off. But seriously, it's going to reward you in about 10 years time in the cellar.
Yeah, just be patient.
Yeah, just be patient. I used to pour it at a pizzeria I managed. Oh, that's really cool. Oliver, thank you. Obviously, thank you for the historic support and the current support, and for chiming in, just in general. It's actually pretty humbling. The like we always used to watch when we get sent like this thing that's like, congratulations, you made 100 comments. Yeah, that was ages ago.
Okay.
Yeah, seriously, you guys have just been so active. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
It was Cherry Fields, I think. Okay, so it'll be a couple of inches. Do we rinse these?
I didn't.
Or I can just get you.
Don't. I don't want to know. I don't want to know what it is. It could be a white. Yeah, I have a feeling it could be a white. It's like it's just orange juice.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I really like these tactics. She's trying to throw you off.
She's
It's
conniving.
Why?
These are really actually hard to try and gauge that as well. Like,
And these
like
glasses.
legitimately, especially like.
because you're handicapped. You can't.
Yeah.
Firstly, you don't know whether it's a cork or a screw cap, and then you don't know what colour it is.
Yeah.
You don't know if it's filtered or unfiltered.
This is amazing. Firstly, this is a little bit corked. It's a touch corked.
Yeah.
But there's, I mean, straight away, okay, I did this last time where I like jumped to it and I was well off base.
Yeah, okay.
I'm jumping straight to like Clare Valley, Riesling territory.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Yeah, something with a bit of age on it, I think.
Yeah. It's got that. So that is called TDN.
Where it smells like petrol, but it tastes delicious.
Trihydromethylnaphthalene is what it's called.
I'm totally gonna take it.
It's like, A whale's vagina. No, it was trihydromethylnaphthalene. I think it is trihydromethylnaphthalene.
But it's that petroleum smell,
the petroleum,
right?
the diesel-y smell is actually, so there's a precursor inside Riesling's skins when it actually gets sunlight exposure. It basically is, I know Trevor's just having fun. He's loving this. He's like, yes, it's TDN, that's what it is. But no, it's an amazing molecule that is basically like sunscreen for grapes. And when you ferment, you know that thing. This feels classically made. This feels like it's almost like it's Richmond Grove territory. Could be Adelaide Hills Riesling.
Okay.
Like old.
I have to say like classic Australian
like
wine is
Henschke
really
level?
not my strong point.
Yeah, Henschke level style of stuff. There's a bit of. Was it under cork? Because it's a bit corked. Yeah.
And the cork is alright. Do you want another one?
I'm a liberal drinker. You know, it's not that corked. No, but there's. It sounds like there's a liquor must. There's a liquor something going on. Bit of cardboard going on.
Tiny bit of dusty, musty cardboard.
It's got a bit of TCN, a bit of TDN, and a little TLA, 3-letter acronym for you.
Wow.
It's a
whale's vagina.
That's I don't know. It's prickly, isn't it, in terms of sulfur? Like there's like. This is the really interesting thing about Riesling, because Riesling typically doesn't actually need a lot of sulfur because
Is it Riesling? Are we?
Oh, okay. Firstly, no, we're not going to get there.
Yeah.
Oh, she just given that up, did she?
No, she hasn't.
Okay.
No, is it?
Okay. Well, firstly, I'm going straight to New World.
No.
Really?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we're fucked.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. It's Old World.
Germany, France, or Italy?
I'm gonna go.
I reckon French.
I think Italy. I think Italy, based on texture, weight. I don't think this is Alsatian. Alsatian would be more austere. I mean, it's got like a bulbous nature to it, but I actually, you know, if it's Old World, is it Riesling? If it's not Germany, then it's definitely not Alsatian Riesling. Then it must be Italian. It must be not even Riesling at all. It could be a Riesling-like thing, and that's Fiano.
This is like the beautiful mind that's happening at the moment. I can see.
No, because what's going to happen is
eyes.
going to get it completely wrong.
Yeah.
But I made it look really cool.
Yeah. It's like
I'm going to say it's Italy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right. This is lean. Okay, I mean straight away I'm going. If that's the case, if it's Old World, it's Italy. It's straight to Fiano, based on the. I don't want to lead you.
No. Like it's I'm gonna go with whatever he says.
That is so Germanic though.
It's
like,
definitely got a real Riesling element. Like
that is so lean. It's so linear. Do you remember those they're like little candy that are like half. I never knew what they actually were, but I think they were half moon shaped, covered with sugar. They were green and see-through, like gummy things, and they tasted like mint and melon smushed. Did you ever have those?
No.
Like in like you would just get like, you know, your parents never bought you like really cheap shitty lollies.
Oh no, we always get like a little 50
I know you're chiming in, Mum.
50-cent thing every week after church. Never had one of those.
And they were like the little green. They looked like a half moon thing. I never knew what they actually were because they always tasted like mint.
Oh, and they were kind of like spearmint leaves.
Oh, is that what they were? I thought that was like, I was like, melon. Like, this isn't what I bought out for. That's what it smells like. It smells like those. All right, so what region are we in? What are our options for region inside Italia? Dove in Italia?
Sicily,
Sicilia,
Veneto,
Veneto.
or Campania.
Oh, you're a douche canoe. Yeah, that's difficult. Okay. I don't think there's anything in Sicily like this. There is a lot of stuff in Veneto like this.
Okay.
This is pure pan level of awesomeness. This is like tight. This could be like a really early like Suave style Garganega.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm gonna go with my gut instinct on Campania on this one because I like if it smells, it's like It's like if it's, you know, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck.
It's going to be a duck.
It's going to be a duck, which means it was Riesling, but it's not Riesling, so therefore it's going to be a goose, which looks like a duck, just a little bit bigger.
Or a pangolin!
Or a pangolin! No, I think this is, I'm going to go with my gut on this because I'm like, it's got to be Fiano. It's got to, like, it's something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go with
Because
Campagna.
everybody brings you Fianos from around the world, because that's what you're known for making.
Possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you brought a really
I did
nice
bring you
Fiano
a
as well.
Fiano, yeah.
Yeah. This is, I'm going to say it's Campagna. Yeah, it is. Okay, well, yeah, duh. So it's either going to be Falangina, Greco, or Fiano, which means it's Fiano. Yeah. So it's going to be, what are my options for vintage here? Because that's actually a tough one, vintage on this one.
40.
Yeah.
60.
Yeah.
40. No.
Okay, it's
Just
definitely
no.
it's definitely not 18.
No.
It's either 14 or 16. I'm gonna go 16.
No, 17.
Oh, good.
Okay, so it's a 17 Fiano from Campagna.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, before we go into producers,
I'm so tapped out here. Like I've no idea.
this is definitely a modern style producer. It's not like Vade Perotti. It's not Pietracupa. It would be a larger style producer at this sort of level, and this sort of like sulfur content. It's either going to be a Fiuta di San Gregorio, or it's going to be a Mastro Berardino, Pietracolda 2017 Fiano, maybe. This is a pretty lean style. I'm disappointed it's a little bit caught because I've had this wine before and it's like it's
been
pretty
delicious.
ethereal. It's pretty next level. Is it the Pietracolda?
No.
It's their baseline? No, not even. It's not Campagnan. Wait, is it Campagnan? Kratos? That's fantastic. This is insane.
I think it is. It's actually not. It's not DOC.
From Pompeii.
It's a different.
It's
Yeah,
from
DOC.
Pompeii.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, okay.
holy crap, this is good. Especially considering where it's from. Like this
Right.
this isn't actually one of the larger producers at all.
No.
This is actually one of the tiniest producers.
15,
Like hitting so far above its weight. That's awesome.
So it's from Pompeii,
Pompeii.
with the volcano, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, would you believe that? So Fiano's story inside Campagna is actually quite interesting. It was only after World War II, and I've only got like 4 minutes to quickly explain this. So basically, after World War II, all of southern Italy was just bombed to crap.
Yeah.
And that's how we sort of ended up getting a whole bunch of wogs across to Australia, and
Yeah.
they ended up bringing all the tasty shit and awesome stuff with
Yeah,
them, and started up things like Orso. Or their progeny did anyway. But they were sort of obviously suffering quite a fair, bit there in terms of being able to get a little bit of gumption, a bit of cultural gumption behind them.
Yeah.
A really smart dude, Mr. Mastro Berardino, he actually went out to Pompeii and he found these native Campagnan grape varieties, and actually breathed life back into them and planted Fiano, which had largely pretty much died out to within a handful of tiny little vineyards. Now Fiano is one of the most ancient grape varieties that we know of.
Yeah.
Next to, it's not the most ancient, but it's certainly one of them. It comes from Roman times. Appiana, meaning bee, honey. So Fiano gets its name because it goes the color of honey. But that's not Italian. That's actually Latin.
Yeah, okay.
That's OG.
So we're talking like ancient.
We're talking ancient. So
Yeah.
Mastro Berardino brought it back to life as a way to, as some sort of like, this is us, this is ours, we can do this really well, and started, his whole winery just exploded in Avellino through this weird, wacky, grape variety called Fiano. And then the sons came out, so that was obviously quite a while ago in the 40s,
Yeah.
and then his sons and everyone else's sons, they really sort of blew up the whole industry and actually started to export it. And now you've actually got this established industry of Fiano all the way across. So this is actually would be, from some like that, the sort of heyday, like when Pompeii and Mount Vesuvius erupted and pretty much covered Pompeii with ash and choked everyone and they all sort of died and everything like that. This so it's Luigi Maffini is the main winemaker here. When sort of Luigi would be sourcing from some of the most OG vineyards, hands down, and Kratos is one of them. Now this was actually shown to me from James from Enoteca
Yeah.
in Melbourne. I think it's Inateka. Oh, he's gonna kill me for this. He's an amazing photographer, an amazing, you know, Italian wine mind. But he was the one that put us onto these guys. That's looking remarkable. A little bit licked by the taint of the cork, but that's.
It's also white wine off the shelf, so there's no chill in it at all. Like, it's proper room
Yeah, and if
temperature.
this was chilled as well, like you wouldn't even pick
You
up
wouldn't
that.
notice
Like
it,
that,
right?
that's a real. It's such a hint. It's so small that even I'm actually gonna consume this one. I have no issue with the cork. But so Andre Suni's actually chimed in on the last minute. Match something with polenta.
Everything goes with polenta, Andre. Everything.
That's business development.
That's business development. Oh, that's from Laura. That's so good. Not James Broadway. Yes, not Inateka Solano, close, but no. James Broadway was the person that actually introduced me to this wine on his 50th birthday.
Ah.
Which brings me to my next point. It's my 30th on the 24th. And I'm still gonna be here. I'm still gonna do this. So
How are you only 30?
I'm not 30.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not 30. I'm 29. But Gertrude Street, Inateka. But anyway, I'm gonna be 30. I'm gonna be doing this, I guess. So everyone should be sharing this out amongst your friends because, like, I'm not gonna chime in my 30th.
Yeah.
You know, alone
That's
in
all right.
isolation.
My birthday's on Monday. My birthday's on Monday, and I'm also going to be in isolation. So
You should chime in, and
will.
we could just get smashed.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do
Great,
this.
do it.
Anyway, guys, that brings us to literally the last minute. Kate, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. This is so much fun.
I know, it's really fun.
It's like being at the
The
pub.
time just absolutely flies. And guys, we're going to see you tomorrow, same time, every time. Thank you so much for chiming in and just being an awesome audience and awesome community, talking amongst yourselves, I've noticed as well. Yeah, of course, we've got the chocolate, what are we calling it? The Booze and Blocks Easter box.
Nice.
It has been released now. It'll be up for the next, I guess, week or so. Soon to be a 30-year-old man. Yes, Maddie. Yes, soon to be a 30-year-old man. Yep, that happened. Anyway, guys, until tomorrow, cheers. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Jump on Applewood Distillery. Henry's going to be, would be right now, I think, according to time delays and what do we call it?
Difference in time, places.
No, what's the thing that happened yesterday?
Timelines.
I'm from Queensland, it never happens.
Daylight savings.
Daylight savings, yeah, because in Queensland they didn't do it because they were afraid the cows just like wouldn't get it and they wouldn't milk.
Queensland are odd though, aren't they?
Anyway, cheers guys.